got the boys, the Redskins, it's that word again, prowling around again, and Peter Pan himself wanting to be captain. And they'd sung their pirate song about avast belay yo ho, heave to, a parting we go, and if we're parted by a shot, we're sure to meet below. Well, here we go on from there then, okay? The most dreadful lot of pirates they were. How many, I cannot say, but some of the worst of them were an Italian, let's go against Italians, named Sico, and a huge man generally called the Blackamoor. Again, just think when this was written, because that's what he was. And Smee, the boatswain, and Gentleman Starkey and Bill Jukes and Skylights. They were all over scars and tattoo marks with pistols, cutlasses, daggers, knives, muskets, and many other cutting and shooting things. Boy, they sound like a Christian Republican, don't they? The pirate captain, Jas Hook, lay smoking 2 cigars at one time, in a sort of chariot which his men moved along. As if it didn't go quick enough, he frightened them by shaking his claw or hook. They obeyed him as if they were dogs, because they were so afraid of being clawed. He was a strange-looking man with long black curls and very polite manners. He'd never been known to show any fear in his life, unless he caught sight of his own blood, which was a very ugly colour, but this hardly ever happened. The pirates passed, making their hideous noise, and a few minutes afterwards the Redskins followed. If he had not seen the pirates first, he'd have wanted to run away from the Redskins. They wore no clothes, but they were well oiled all over. Their eyes glittered in the dark. Their chief was called Great Big Little Panther. He went in front on all fours so that he might look more like a panther. But, as he said, the whole of his tribe had just been stooging frightfully. He was feeling much too fat. The only other person who had not overeaten was the beautiful Princess Tiger Lily. Well done, Tiger Lily. She walked last of all, very proud and upright, and the Redskins stole out of sight, and very soon the wild beasts appeared, an enormous number of them, dreadful creatures with large teeth showing red tongues hanging out. Now I'm going to get to lions, tigers, bears, and other big animals, and a lot of smaller beasts, all savage and all hungry. When these had gone by, there was still one more to pass. It had not been mentioned before. It came making curious noises as it crept along. It was a large, very large crocodile. It was the body of a crocodile, because the lost bodies did not know it was there. The lost boys did not know it was there. They appeared again presently, having gone right round the island. They were tired and lay down on the turf, which was indeed the roof of their underground home. And every one of them said, "I do wish Peter would come back." They meant to keep the pirates off. Slightly said, in his conceited way, "I'm the only one who's not afraid of pirates. Don't panic, Captain Mannering, don't panic." But directly after, he repeated that he wished that Peter would come back. The lost boys, who were feeling lonely, began to talk about their mothers. It's all getting a bit Freudian. They could only do this when Peter was away, because he thought mothers were silly. However, the lost boys would have liked some mothers to look after them just then. I bet you did, lads. And when they talked, there was a distant sound. And while they talked, there was a distant sound. They knew it much too well. It was the pirate song, Getting Closer. The lost boys disappeared at once, all except Nibs, who went to watch out for the pirates. However, they did hide so quickly? Why, close to where they lay were 7 large hollow trees, a tree for each boy and one for Peter. These were the secret stairs and doorways to the delightful home under the ground. Hook had no notion where to find it, but here was Hook himself. The moment after, and with his horrible pirate crew, they caught sight of Nibs scuttling among the trees, and Hook sent them to search for the other boys. He was left alone with his boatswain, Smee, and he began to tell Smee the story of his life. Smee did not understand it in the least, but Hook went on speaking. Oh, do I know people like that? Most of all, said Hook, I hate Peter Pan. It was he who cut off my arm and threw it to the crocodile, and the crocodile liked my arm so much, Smee, that it followed me everywhere ever since, wanting the rest of me. Why not take all of me? I've often noticed, said Smee, that you were oddly afraid of crocodiles. Only that one crocodile. It's waiting, I tell you, for the rest of me, and I'm waiting to get hold of Peter Pan. As Hook spoke, he sat down upon a large mushroom. But listen, Smee, that crocodile once swallowed a clock, and the clock goes tick, tick, tick inside it, so I can hear it coming along, and I have time to get away. Smee answered someday the clock must stop. Then, he said, the crocodile will get you. Hook was just saying that he thought that. He knew that when suddenly he jumped up. Why is this mushroom so hot? I'm nearly burning. And the boatswain tried very gingerly to pull the mushroom up, but it came up at once, for it had no root. There was a hole where it had been, and smoke came out of the hole. No wonder Hook felt hot. The mushroom was a stopper to the boys' chimney, and the 2 pirates could hear the lost boys chattering gaily down below. The home underground had been found at last, and soon Hook noticed the 7 hollow trees. He stood thinking for a long time, making a plan to trap the lost boys while Peter was away. He told Smee what it was. It was like this. We'll go back to the ship, cook a large rich cake with green sugar on it. We'll leave the cake on the shore of the mermaids' lagoon, and when boys come to play with the mermaids, they will find it. They have no mother, so they don't know it's dangerous to eat rich, damp cake, and so they'll gobble it up, and they will die. Ha, 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 mad laughter. There you go. See what happens when you don't have a mother, when you kind of ignore all those female influences in your life, and you don't have a mother, and you get kind of a bit attached to somebody who seems to have an awful lot of power, and you kind of follow them. I don't know. I think there's all kinds of things going on there. I really do. I also think it's a beautiful story, and it's kind of keeping me sane reading it. Look, if any of you watching this are maybe going to the Pavilion Theatre tonight from 7:30, they got an act on. The performance is free, but just assemble in the bar. Might be going down with Sharon, so I'd love to meet any of you that come down there. Okay, just to say I haven't suddenly grown extra hair. Bye.